The first thing you're gonna do is everywhere you go is you have to be aware of your surroundings. That's number one, all the time. When you leave your house, you gotta be paying attention. Your cell phone, put it away. Put it away. When you're in the car, of course. No texting and driving, okay, people? No texting and driving. So anyway, when you leave your safe place and you're in your car, say you're going to go, you gotta go to practice, but you're gonna stop off at the store, right? Before you even leave, you need to let somebody know where you're going. Share your location. If you're gonna stop somewhere, share your location. Always let somebody know where you're going. It's best if you have somebody with you, like a buddy. You know, pick up a buddy, let's ride together, let's do this together, okay? Carpool. That's the safest thing, is to have somebody with you. But if you're not and you're by yourself, share your location. But before you get out of your car, or anybody's car, look around and see what's going on. You know, where are you? If you're at Walmart, if you're at Target, look around before you get out of your car and check it out and see what's going on. Then just be prepared to get out of your car. Like, okay, do I have everything in place that I need? I know it's going to take time because you want to do things fast, right? Everybody's in a hurry, got places to go. Well, this is just something that I like, that I brought for when you do get out of your car. You got your keys. Now, how many of you have keychains and key rings and that you keep on your wrist? Does anybody have those? Okay. Okay, do you have the big circle ones that everybody carries around? No?
I have one that's
You
not
do?
on there right now.
What do y'all usually do when you carry your keys?
Put it on your wrist.
On your wrist? Like, okay, like maybe one of these?
Oh, yes.
Okay. I love these. And guess where I got it? Off Central. Okay? All right, Off Central. And she's ordering me some. So I don't know if y'all know, but Mary, they probably know what Off Central is. Y'all know Marion, right? That owns Off Central, that does all the Homewood stuff, shirts and stuff. Okay. Well, her son John Andrew was one of Anaya's best friends. And so I went in her store and I saw this and I was like, oh, I like that, give it to me. So I put it on my wrist. And you see how just snug it is? Like on your wrist, it doesn't go anywhere, right? It's just there, it doesn't go anywhere. And you can just grab your keys up like this. And that's what I like about it. If you've got a thing that just slides off, somebody can just grab it off your hand or it can slide off, it's not going to be secure. And this way, you've got your keys on your arm, that it's not easily pulled off, and you can just grab your keys up like this. And why I'm saying that is, when you get out of your car, you can have your keys. You can use your keys as a weapon, right? Your car alarm, if you have one. If you don't, you can use your key as a weapon, okay? You can get a key to poke somebody. And I'm actually making a lot of safety stuff. We'll talk about that later. But you can use your key as a weapon to poke somebody in the eye or scratch them or whatever. But your car alarm, hit your car alarm if you feel like you're in danger. Just hit the alarm. Cause a scene, you know. But sometimes you can't speak if something's happening to you. You're in shock. You're scared. So you can hit your car alarm, hit your button. But you gotta have it right there with you, right? Don't carry a purse. I stopped carrying purses. Because you don't want to be fumbling around in your purse for your keys, because that gives somebody more time to attack you, right? Walk fast. Okay? Look around where you're going. But walk fast. When I get out of my car now, I'm sprinting in Walmart. I'm looking, but anyone can tell you, I'm looking, but I'm walking fast, because if there's somebody that's, out there trying to find somebody to talk to get to, or do something to, more than likely they're not going to come after you if you're walking fast, because they're like, oh, okay, I don't want to mess with that person, because they obviously got something to do. But if you're just taking your time and you're slow and you're on your cell phone, you're not paying attention, and you're a target, right? You're a target. So you just have to make yourself aware. But your phone, what I've been doing is if I don't share my location with somebody, I own my phone with somebody, and I just put my phone in my pocket and I'm still talking to them. So they'll know everything that's going on with me. Like I'm here. When I'm getting gas, I get out of my car, I make sure my doors are locked, I got my keys, I set my phone on my tire, and I have it on FaceTime with somebody, like anybody, right? And as I'm pumping my gas, I'm still looking around, but I've got somebody on the phone with me, that's just kind of things that you have to do. You gotta be aware of your surroundings. And if somebody comes up and tries to talk to you, I need help, I need money, and and that happens a lot around here, and it can happen anywhere. I know you guys probably have hearts of gold too and want to be nice, but you don't have to help people, but you can say, I can get you help, and walk away. And if you feel like that person really needs help and they're having an emergency, you go call help in a safe place. But you don't have to help people, and this is hard for me. This is a hard one for me because I like to help people. I'm a nurse. I want to take care of people. I feel sorry for people. You can't trust people. So if somebody's trying to beg you to help them, I need help, say, okay, I will go get you help, but you go get the safety. And then you call, if you think you need to call 911, hey, there's a person that's in need or whatever. Do not feel obligated, y'all. Take care of yourself first, okay? Does that make sense? Any questions so far? I know I'm probably overwhelming you with a lot. It's a lot of information, to take in, but always, like I say, always use the buddy system if you can. Always take a friend with you. Don't go out at night. Do whatever you have to do during the day if you can. I know there's, you're gonna have to go out at night sometimes, but if you really do have to go out at night, don't go unless somebody's with you. Just don't. Just make it a habit of, you know what, I can wait on doing that. I can wait till tomorrow. Let's see. There's so much more that I want to tell you, so let me just think a minute. Oh, don't log your keys down. I've got, my house key, or I got 3 keys. I'm not really sure what I got you. I think one's a post office key. But I've got my car alarm, I've got my wristlet. Because if it's heavy, it's also not gonna do you any good.
Angela, what do you tell the girls to do if they've got a gun and they're putting it to their head and forcing them in the car? What do you tell them to do?
So, do not let them take you to a second location.
Yes.
And if they are gonna kill you, y'all, they're just gonna kill you right there. I know that's the worst thing you want to think of, but do not let them take you to a second location. But what I want y'all to do is, and Anaya's Heart's about to start this, and I want y'all all to be a part of it, okay? We're gonna start teaching self-defense classes, and we're gonna teach you how to get a gun away from somebody. Okay, that's coming. COVID has slowed that down. But Homewood is my first priority. I can tell you all that right now. Homewood is my first priority. I'm gonna be here. Y'all will all know. I'm about to go do some, I don't know if y'all know this, but I'm gonna come, whoever's cheering, I'm gonna be coming, and speaking to y'all again. But I'm gonna provide free self-defense classes, okay? No charge, free self-defense. I'm gonna teach you, I'm not gonna teach you, but my guys. My guys, which is Seth Burdett, he's from Hueytown, and
me.
oh, you're gonna teach him how to get a gun? Okay, well, I hear you. And then I have my friend Will Brooks, who is going to teach those classes, and that is another most important thing that you need to know is, what do you do if you have nothing and you have to protect yourself? You have no weapon, you have nothing, and somebody is attacking you, they pulled a gun. You have to use your body. You gotta know how to use it. And it's a lot of technique to use, but you can do it. I went to the class, this police officer from Chicago, Paul Sharp, is amazing. And he's the one teaching my instructors all this stuff. But I went to the class here in Homewood in January, but I just wasn't all with it, so I didn't want to participate. But I listened, and it was amazing at the stuff that he taught. So we're going to teach y'all some really good things on how to protect yourself, because you got to know how to use your body to protect yourself. Because like I said, you may not have a weapon, you may not have anything. So whenever that gets up and running, of course I will email y'all, let you know when that's going to happen. The sooner the better. I'm hoping just within like next month or so we can have those classes going. But if you in a situation, if something happens, just like I say, fight. Sometimes it's hard. You can't scream, if that makes sense. If you've ever been in a situation where you just can't get it out. If you could get one word out, say no, just say no or stop loudly if you're in a public place, but sometimes it's hard to even do that. But just fight as hard as you can and don't go, use your whole body weight and fall to the floor. Just
Yeah,
fall
right.
to the ground. Okay? You don't have to stand up because that's, guess what? They're probably not gonna be able to, it's gonna be harder for them to get you up off the ground than it is to grab your arm. Just fall to the ground, fighting, kicking, screaming, whatever you have to do, but do not go to a second location, period. Okay? And you can bring up any more questions you want to, because that triggers my mind,
Yeah.
telling me what,
Yeah.
What happens, like if you're forced into a second location, right? I mean,
The
like
car.
you're forced into the car, right? Then wreck the car.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
right, and I think that's what Anaya tried to do. Her
Yeah,
car was wrecked.
right.
Because, and we think that was her fighting, because we're pretty sure that he kidnapped her at gunpoint, put her in the passenger seat, and she tried to fight.
Mhm.
Or she did fight. We know she fought. And she grabbed the gun, she grabbed the steering wheel, she tried to wreck. So, yeah, you have to do everything that if you can jump out of the car, if it's not going fast, jump out of the car. Just, do whatever you can.
and if you're the one driving, I mean, intentionally run into a building, or
Yeah.
I mean, if they get in on the
you
passenger
know,
side.
and that's better than them taking you somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you might get hurt, you might be injured, but that's better than them taking you somewhere else. It really is, because you don't know what they're going to do with you somewhere, somewhere else. And that reminds me, your cars, okay? And this is for y'all too. I want y'all to know this. And I just hate that. I'm glad I'm able to give this to y'all and give this information to y'all. I hate that my daughter's gone, but Anaya died to save people. So in their cars, what I'm recommending you do, have things in different parts of the cars. Like now I'm not a gun person. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I've been anti-gun all my life, but if you can use one and you're comfortable using one, go learn how to use one when you're old enough and have one. Okay? Own your person, not in your purse.
Right.
Not in your purse. It's not
It
going to
can
do any
go
good.
off, Yeah.
It's not going to do, you're fumbling around trying to get to it. They make all kinds of stuff. They make these things that go around your waist that you can conceal your weapon inside under your shirt or under your skirt or things like that. Everybody's different. So some of y'all may feel comfortable using a gun, and if you do that, that's great. But like I say, you have to have it on your person so you can just get it and go. And I'm trying. What's hard for me is that what was hard for me about guns in the past is because working at Children's and seeing all the gunshot wounds and kids accidentally killing themselves, and me having kids, I couldn't have a gun in my house or around me. I just was afraid my kids would accidentally shoot themselves. But and then, but in your car, say like Anaya's situation, for instance, if it's your car,
They were in
hide.
her car.
Huh?
They were in her car.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we think now she got killed in her car, but there was an eyewitness that's now not credible that said he put her in another car, and I also have information that we think that she was put in another car, and then they met somewhere, and she was put back in her car. It's a mess, y'all. It is a big mess. But in your car, if you're in your car, somebody kidnaps you in your car, because this happened to a girl in Auburn, and her name was Lauren. 2000 and God, I don't know what year it was. 2016. Maybe 2014, Lauren was coming out of her boyfriend's apartment, and she was getting in her car, and there was a guy who was ex-military who just went crazy, and he was sitting in the parking lot for no reason because he just didn't know where he was, and he saw Lauren, and he went and pushed her in her car, and took her car and kidnapped her and took her and shot her and left her in the middle of the street for no reason other than he was crazy and he just wanted to. So I suggest hiding weapons of some sort everywhere in your car. I don't know how y'all feel about, not a knife or even bug spray. Like, you don't really want to, it's not going to hurt you to have mace on your keychain. I'm just not a big fan of having that because it can be used against you too. You want to cause a scene, you want to make noise and, and things like that. And yes, mace is appropriate. Now, I don't say not get it. I'm not going to tell you not to have mace, but put it in your car too. Hide it in your car, some Raid in your car, everywhere. Hide something underneath every seat that only you know's there, right? Your driver's seat, your passenger seat, and your back seat, anywhere you are, hide something, stick it with some tape or something. That way you know you've got a weapon in every part of your car that you can hurt somebody. But you know, say Anaya, if Anaya would have had a gun in her glove compartment, he still would have shot her. Because if she would have reached in that glove compartment to get that gun, he would have shot her before she got it. So if she would have had something under her, which you don't know this. Now I know, so I can tell you. Her being in her passenger seat, if he's pulling a gun, she could have reached under her seat and got something secretly. He wouldn't have known, you know. So you got to think outside the box. So those are some things that I come up with about that part. Now, if you're in somebody else's car, they kidnap you and put you in, you know, their car. I don't like saying this, but I'm gonna say it because there may be some situations. Every situation is different. There may be some situations where if you know you're going to a second location and you have no choice, try to comply. Maybe if you're in a situation, you're gonna have to gauge it a little bit and not. That's a tough one for me because you know you want to, while they're driving the car, if you wreck it, you can. But also, if you feel like they're not gonna hurt you immediately, maybe try to just kind of wait and see if you don't have anything. Complying sometimes works too, because they might not be wanting to kill you. You know, it's hard. It's hard to say. But if they've got a gun to you and you know they're about to die, do whatever. Do whatever you can. Fight, wreck the car, do whatever. You know, because you know, it's either he's gonna kill you anyway, or the person's gonna do something to you anyway. You know, but we're trying to. What we want to do is prevent all that from happening, right? We want to prevent somebody from taking you. That's what we want to prevent. Is somebody from taking you. So that's where it all comes in, where you always have to be aware, first and foremost, when you are by yourself and you're leaving your safe zone. That's the first thing. Elijah and I we just started a company, and we're gonna have, it's called Disguise and Alert. So, you know, they make all these type of things, like these key things, buttons that you can mash. It's an alarm, and it sends out an alarm to like 5 of your contacts. You know, have an app. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. But Elijah and I wanted to take it a step further, and we want to make it to where your button that you hit can be in a bracelet that nobody can get off of you, that nobody's gonna think it's expensive either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not gonna rip it off of you because they think it's jewelry or whatever. It's called Disguise and Alert for a reason. We want to have a button maybe in the band of your bra that you can just hit your button 3 times and it's gonna send an alert to somebody. So we're working on all that. But we're gonna start with something like this until we can we're trying to get our bracelets right, because we want to have bracelets too. And we're gonna have to design the products to put the button, because the button is run off Bluetooth and a battery. So we're working on it. But just today we had a meeting with a lady from Australia who has a device kind of like, it looks like this kind of, and it's got a button. It also has a light, a strobe light, and it also has a noise maker. So you got 3 things right there. You got a button, and it's gonna, a light, the strobe light's gonna go off, it's gonna cause a scene, it's gonna make a noise, and you're sending out your contacts. And when you hit your button, it's also gonna start tracking you at that time. Okay? It's not gonna track you everywhere you go all the time, but it's gonna start tracking you then when you hit your button. But you have to have the app. And this is the things we're trying to get around. Is you have to be near a Bluetooth device, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it to where there's safe places, like safe schools. So whatever college you guys are going to, we will put beacons up everywhere. If you don't have your phone, at least you know you're in a safe school. If you've got your button and you're walking on campus, your Bluetooth is gonna hit off of a beacon that's around, so you can, you know that that's at least a safety thing. Stores, like service stations, you can look on your app, because we're gonna have an app, and it'll show you which service station has our beacon for our app. That way you know, oh, this is DNA, it's called DNA, Disguise and Alert. You know, this is DNA's safe store, and I know that if I get in trouble and I hit my button and I don't have my phone, I'm still gonna be safe. I can still get a signal. And also, if somebody else has the app and you're close to somebody else with a phone, say somebody in that store has a phone that's got the app downloaded, but they don't have their button, it could still hit off their phone. So we're trying to incorporate a lot of different safety things. So that's all coming. But I just want you guys to know the most important things right now is being aware of your surroundings and get off your phones in public. Do not, it makes me so upset now, and I start to cry. Like I was in Auburn, you know, went down there a couple weeks ago, just everybody walking around campus, walking on their phones with with headphones. Headphones are meant for in your safe places, not outside. Because you can't hear somebody coming up on you. You can't, you know, it's just bad. You can't see, you're on your phone, you got your headphones in, somebody come up and just take you away. There was a runner, you know, just recently, Arkansas? Do y'all remember that story?
Mm-hmm.
Was it Arkansas?
I think
That
so.
beautiful blonde,
Mm-hmm.
bless her heart, she had her headphones in, and she was running by herself. You know, and this has been happening, you know, this happens. Runners get, you know, in parks, you know, women get kidnapped and get raped and get murdered all the time. So don't go running by yourself. Don't do anything by yourself if you can help it. If you know, if you want to go exercise, walk the streets, don't do it by yourself. Take a buddy, and then have your headphones out. Don't be on your cell phone. That's I can't stress that enough. And I was down at UAB too on campus. I could count maybe 3 out of like 150 people that were not on their phone. And I just felt terrible. I was like, oh my God, I want to get out of my car and scream right now at y'all. Like, no, you know, get off your phone. Take your headphones out, you know. But you know, people don't realize, they think that it won't happen to them. They just think it can't happen to them. And I get that way. I think it's not going to happen to us. But it can. It can. I was at Sonic on Green Springs, and a couple of months ago, that's my place. I go there all the time. So I was sitting in my car, and dumb me. Oh yeah, you know, don't be sitting in your car on your phone with your windows down, because that's what I did. I was at Sonic with my windows down. I was having a bad day. I was crying. I wasn't really paying attention to what I was doing. This man just comes flying up to my window. I mean, he could have just killed me right there. And he was begging for money, you know, and I thought, what was I thinking, leaving my window down and my, you know, door's not locked. So, you know, things happen. You're human. We're gonna not do things right all the time, you know, or make mistakes or forget. But just try, y'all, to start incorporating, you know, today on, and tell the people that are not here, your friends that are not here, hey, this is what we got to start doing.
And I think too that this is such a sweet, I mean, really sweet group of girls. Very compassionate, very thoughtful and kind. And I know several times my daughter Mary Brett and I, you know, she'll wonder why I'm not helping that person on the corner,
Right.
you know, because it seems so heartless. And
Right.
I was at the gas station over here on Green Springs and Lakeshore. Is that what it is?
Yes.
That new
Yeah.
kind of new one. And I was on the very end of the pump, and I'd gotten out of the car, and I told Mary Brett, I was like, always lock your door, like while you're pumping gas.
Yes. Yeah.
So I got out of the car, and I was pumping, and had my car locked, and a lady pulled in the pump next to me, and she said her husband was in the car, but they were from Montgomery, that they had a son at Children's that was in the heart unit, that they didn't have anywhere to sleep. They'd been sleeping in the car right over here. She said, would I be able to help them get a hotel room? And so, you know, she had on a t-shirt that had a Bible verse on it, and
Yeah.
I told her, I said, you know, I would love to help you. I said, do you have a cell phone? Because everybody has a cell phone.
Right.
And she said, I do. I said, well, can I get your number? And I'm gonna, you know, talk to my husband
Try to make some money, or,
and
you know, try to do
and try to help you out. And so anyway, sure enough, I got home. I got a phone number, and I got home, and I, you know, talked to my husband and decided to kind of reach back out to her. And that night, she said they ran into somebody that put them up in a hotel that night. But Mary Brett heard me on the phone with her and wondered, you know, she said, well, you got to help her. You got to help her. I said, I don't think this is legit. And I called Ronald McDonald House that she told me she tried to get a room. And I called Children's Hospital and talked to somebody with social services. And they said that they said my husband works for the FBI. This kind of stuff happens all the time at gas stations. They come up,
Gas stations are,
and she said, you look, you know, she said, thank you for calling me. I told my husband that you looked like very sincere and so forth. And so I just, you know, but anyway, I ended up telling her that they told me at Children's that if she needed any gas cards or a hotel, that they would be happy to help her.
Right.
Just to
They do.
give them a
Social workers are
call.
great. Yeah.
And then, of course, I never heard from her again because it just wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't legitimate.
Yeah.
I mean, and if it was, then God will reward me just for,
Right.
you know, for taking a little bit of time to try to help her. But you just can't trust anybody.
You can't.
And so they're
it's
just
sad. Yeah.
So I just think they have such compassionate, sweet hearts, and you just gonna have to keep that window up and not roll it down and give it money to the person on the corner, you know.
And like I said, I know you feel bad, and like I was that way all my life, and Anaya was that way. She would give. Oh my goodness, that girl. She just wanted to give, and give, and give, and give, and give. She didn't. I mean, that was her thing. She loved to give to people and loved to help people. But like I said, when I was saying earlier, if somebody's in help and they need something, say, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now, but I can try to find somebody who can. Don't feel bad about it. Please don't. And that doesn't make you a bad person. You're being safe. You're protecting yourself. And, you know, I had to learn that from Paul Sharp, that police officer in Chicago. He's the one that told me that in that class last January. He's like, you don't have to help. You don't have to talk to anybody. You don't have to say anything to anybody. You're not obligated to do anything. And I know, like I say, that stinks when you're a Christian, you want to be a good person, you want to do this, but you know, you just can't do it every day. You just can't do it anymore. You're gonna have to find a different way. And like I say, if they do ask for help, say, I'm so sorry, I can't, but I'll find somebody to help you, and I'll go get somebody to help you, but you can't. You just don't.
And if you're walking out to go to your car, like from Target or from a gas station, and you see someone near your car that kind of just looks a little suspicious, like, turn around and go back in.
Yes.
And you can, you know, there's a lot of places that have security guards that will walk you to your car, or just go back in and shop around a little bit more, make a phone call, you know, let somebody, you know, whatever.
Where you are.
But you don't have to, you know, if you're late going to your next, you know, place, that's fine. Like, just, if something doesn't look right, just turn around and go back.
Yep, exactly. And, that's why you have to be aware of your surroundings. Like, so when you're walking out, say you're getting ready to walk out of Walmart, you're getting ready to walk out of wherever you're at, look outside. Look, like I said, look at your car. Make sure there's nobody hanging around your car, because I'm gonna tell you what Yazid did. He tried to kidnap a girl from Palm Beach, Tan, 2 days before he kidnapped Anaya. He went up to her car. She was eating lunch in her car. I'm gonna give you 2 examples of things he did. He was looking for somebody to kidnap. So he was banging on this girl's car at Palm Beach, Tan in Auburn, trying to get her, and he was cussing her. He wanted her in her car, and she didn't. And I'm hoping she's going to testify. But the weekend before Anaya was kidnapped, he was at the Opelika, I don't know if it was Target or Walmart. He was following this girl around the store. And she reckoned, she's like, this guy's following me. So she went and told somebody. And she saw him at the door, waiting, at the exit door. And she went and told somebody, said, I need a man to walk me to my car. Well, by the time they found a man to walk her to the car, somebody that worked at the store, he was gone. Well, when his picture popped up on the news as a suspect in Anaya's disappearance, that lady started screaming at her husband. So personal friends of hers told me, and she was like, oh my God, that's the man that was following me in Target. Like, so you just have to just be aware. And I know you know, you're young, you caught up, you're having fun. And I hate to say, this, it breaks my heart to we have to live like this now, you know, it does, it breaks my heart, but, you just have to, and, you know, make sure all your friends are aware that that's what y'all are doing, talk to each other about it, make a plan before you leave the house, you know, this is how we're gonna handle this is how we're gonna do this, we're gonna stick together, we're gonna, you know, oh, and also another thing, your passwords to your all your social media. Like I say, we're trying to prevent something from happening to you, but say that something does happen to you and nobody knows where you are, write all your passwords down to your social media, put it in an envelope. You don't have to give it to your parents, but give it to somebody that you trust. And if something happens to you, then they can go and just say, hey, you know, tell them where the envelope is, and they can know where that envelope is. Or if you want to give it to your parents, if you want to give it to your friend, all your passwords, do it. You know, that way they can get into your social media and get into your email and get into everything, and they can see things. Like, I saw Anaya's Venmo purchase on her email, and that's how I knew where she was. So, if it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have known. So it's very important. You know, you don't want to share, sometimes, you don't want to tell your parents where you are all the time. I get it. You're teenagers. I didn't tell mom, which that was a whole different time. That was a long time ago. I'm a little old, but no, it is very important that you share your location and always let somebody know where you are. And there's so much more, y'all, to keep yourself safe. But those are the basics. Like I said, I don't want to overwhelm y'all and get y'all bored, and I know y'all tired and stuff like that. But those are just basic things tonight, and that I want y'all to take away from this is that it can happen to you. You're not immune to this happening, and that always be aware of your surroundings and what's going on. And then start from today thinking about ways of what you're going to do in your plan of how you're going to protect yourself if something happens. Okay. And like I said, we're working on stuff, the self-defense classes, and Elijah and I are working on a safety and a security company. So we're going to be having products that we're going to be able to offer to you. And also, Marion is ordering some of these to Stay Forever Anaya, and I will give y'all some. And